So you have a blueprint for the offseason and what you think should be done. So take us through this.
Yeah, I mean, we could start on the offensive side. We kind of talked about this last show, and I'm working on an article on this right now. It's going to be kind of long, so I just kind of threw this together here today. But, obviously, we talked about last time I was on, there's not much success, I don't think, in going after a number one type wide receiver in free agency. I think they should use their 13th pick to address that situation. Whoever that guy may be, right? That's up to Barry and those guys, whoever they like as that guy, take him at 13. I think you can fill in around that guy and Donovan Peoples-Jones and Anthony Schwartz with multiple free agent wide receivers. I would say two at the least in free agency that can fill those roles, right? You need a 3, you need a possession guy, you need maybe a slot guy, depending on what happens with Jarvis. We can talk about more about that. But you fill those roles in free agency, and I think there are guys to do that. There are guys I like there for that. Offensive line, they definitely need a swing tackle. They've been willing to spend almost $5-6 million on Chris Hubbard the last few years, Dave, as a swing tackle, and they've needed him. And then he got hurt. I think that is something that they should go out and get a starting caliber swing tackle, pay the money for it, because you may need it with Hubbard and certainly Conklin coming off of an injury, Hubbard coming off a suspect second year.
Yeah, I would agree.
That's kind of the offensive side.
Yeah, and I agree with you. The swing tackle, I think the Chris Hubbard injury is a little bit underrated for how much this offense struggled. You had to start Hance and Hudson, and you wouldn't have had to do your 4th and 5ths. Hubbard was a competent tackle, and I think that was underrated. All right, now when we switch to the defensive side of the ball, one of the things you mentioned is Clowney. So let's go from there.
Yeah, I mean, that's priority one for me. I think he worked, right? He worked in this defense. It took some time for this defense to gel. I would spend the money that you need to spend. I think there are some cuts that are coming that will free up enough room to go back and get this guy. And he was extremely productive. He played terrific for this defense, and I don't want to break that tandem up. I would like to bring him back. You don't know how another guy's going to fit in. You've seen how he gems and gels with this defense. So I would like to bring him back. He's priority one for me. Obviously, you need a lot of help on the D-line, in my opinion. There's not much on the roster and what's happened with Malik McDowell and things like that. As far as the interior defensive line is going to need addressed via draft and free agency. And I write trades with an asterisk there and get creative because there's not really like a guy that's a huge stud in the draft that you could take at interior D-line where they really need somebody. I mean, I guess you could take a second-round guy depending on who's there. There's a couple guys that might be there, including, the kid from Georgia, the second kid from Georgia. But, they have but I think they should get creative. There's going to be trade opportunities, and this is one of those situations where they're going to have to go out and get at least one real solid piece on the interior part of that defensive line, and they may have to get creative to do it. And I think trades is a possibility there.